Hello nerds, this is a video about the meditation game from Saturday the 13th of April 2019, so that would have been the 103rd meditation games. The game was made by Sascha Moros, and she's left a small blurb for us, which I'll read out for you now. On April 13th, one of the oxygen tanks of Apollo 13 exploded and severed, for 1.8 seconds, the pilot's connection to Earth. On days like these, I dream about space and what it's like to be as separate from humanity as anyone has ever been. I dream about what it's like to drift through the void of space and wonder, should someone come to join me, will I be able to speak their language? I wonder if I can become part of something new. Content warning, flashing lights, loud noise at the start. And loud noise indeed. You're immediately greeted by this loud blaring alarm, which I can definitely imagine would panic some people, but you hit the button underneath the flashing O2 tank to turn that buzzer off, and everything's peaceful and quiet after that time. As you can see, you start off with a very minimalistic, not much sense-making HUD, and you see the Earth slowly passing by you. My initial thought was to try and rotate the camera, move about, whatever, try and see if I could do anything, and I couldn't. The only thing I can interact with, as you can see, is that small keyboard underneath the third screen on the HUD underneath. At first I was just hitting random things, and I seem to have been able to summon a small red dot in the bottom corner of the radar. The first time I sent a signal out to it, a green wave came back and it said plus O2, which gave me some more oxygen. But every time you get it wrong, you get a signal back that says minus O2, and it takes a chunk away from the constantly depleting O2 tank. So the only way to fill the tank up is to send it a correct signal. Yeah, I continued to just mess around and play about with things until eventually I stumbled across a combination that unlocked a second dot. And it didn't take long for me to discover the third dot after that. Some simple experimentation. However, getting the fourth dot was insanely hard. For whatever reason, the logical path that led me to finding the first three was something I didn't absorb it and pursue that line of thinking to the fourth dot, well, which is the completing of the game. I messaged quite a lot of people about it, asking if anyone else had sussed it. No one I knew had. I asked the developer. They gave me some intentionally cryptic and very playful clues, which was winding me up. I was like, what is the answer? What is the answer? I'm glad she didn't give me the answer. What ended up happening was all these little clues that she was giving. Me and one other person in particular was just messaging back and forth saying, what does this mean? What does this mean? We were all sitting there trying all kinds of bizarre things, all sorts of odd combinations, and but I think because there was a few bugs in there as well, we were just coming up with all kinds of false positives, like, this worked! Why did this work? What does it mean? It makes no sense! And it wasn't until I started sending the creator some of the combinations that I found worked that she just went, that wasn't supposed to work. Like, she gave us so many hints, and in hindsight, it was so bloody obvious. The pattern was just how many waves you sent. So if you had one, the patterns that you created were sound waves or sine waves, and the more peaks and dips that you had dictated sort of the number. And for some reason we did one wave, we did two waves, we did four waves. For whatever reason, none of us thought to do three waves. None of us thought of it. I really don't know why. It's so obvious in hindsight, but it completely eluded us. Unbelievable. But honestly, the thing that I enjoyed most about this game, because yeah, okay, it was buggy, and we kept getting false positives, and there's not much of the game, but it was that communication amongst each other. It was that mystery, how we were communicating and putting all of our evidence together, and like, what the hell is going on? And when we realised what the combination was, it was like, I don't believe it. It was great fun. I've not had that with a meditation yet, so that was a unique experience this meditation provided, and something enjoyable. And it's something that she actually said she wanted from that meditation, which was really cool that she got that. I haven't been able to find any of the other work she's done. She's not got a link to a portfolio site or anything like that, but she says she does narrative design and is always interested in new ways of telling stories and experiences and all that kind of stuff. This sort of thing I totally get behind. I love that she was willing to take the risk that people weren't going to automatically solve it. There was a risk that people would not solve it in time. I cheated, I admit. I discovered that you could pause the game by alt-tabbing out. So after the meditation timer expired and I needed to go to bed, I just alt-tabbed out. So waited until the morning and just kept trying again. So yeah. I will not be beaten. I have been beaten before though, so but I do love people willing to take that risk because they want the game to say or do something. And yeah, I respect that. I think that it was actually really cool that someone's done that. It was frustrating in the moment because obviously I want to get these recorded. I want to get beginning to end recorded. And I think being in such a hurry sometimes, because often I do leave these quite late before I start recording them, I think it's something that's negatively affecting my enjoyment of other meditations because I'm too concerned about the time limit. And this game was a very keen reminder of the fact that I do need to record these earlier in the day because I need to give myself the time to sit there and play it and not worry about the game shutting down or anything like that. So yeah, so I will leave a link to Sascha's Twitter in the What's a Majigger below, and a huge thank you to Sascha for making today's game. It was a really cool, unique experience, and thank you for watching. I'll see you again tomorrow. Take care.